Okay, welcome back to session two. A few little glitches with session one when we went on the internet to listen to the quickie um, video. The sound quality wasn't so good. I'll try to make an adjustment to that. Certainly for any other video that we have during this portion, I will make the adjustment. Okay, let's talk about the cloud. The cloud, it can be described, I think, as simply as possible as uh, whatever is resident on your computer or on your device that you're using is not part of the cloud. It's part of your application programs in all likelihood. The cloud would be anything you go out to the internet to access. For example, Facebook would be part of the cloud. Certainly, you could look at your server as being a cloud application. I'm going to make an adjustment here, I believe, to be able to get my slide to go forward. Okay, here we go. Outsourcing, most of that takes place on the cloud. Online collaboration, and we'll be talking about that in a few slides here. Collaboration tools are becoming very effective, very, very popular, particularly with Fortune 500 companies, but they're applicable to any kind of business, even very small businesses. So the cloud is what's out on the internet, and much of the cloud is free. Much of what you can obtain from the cloud, what you can access, is free at this point in time. This is a good example of something that Apple has demonstrated here recently as the cloud application, the iCloud. But this is mostly music out on the cloud. And but this application, as I understand it, and I need to know more about this, frankly, but I believe this is a full OS 5 application operating system. If that's true, then those of us that are either happy or unhappy with Windows 7 would perhaps have an alternative at some point in time with the Apple system, which would be operating on the cloud. Again, I don't have any specific information about Google and what they're doing, but I know that their operating system, Chromium, is in development stages, and it would not surprise me if that was a cloud-based application too. So I think that we're going to be looking at a lot of new things, and at some point in time, many of our devices will be operating. The majority of what we access will be from the cloud. I want to show a few of these applications and tools. I call them solutions that just work very well. And so periodically through this talk, I'll be pulling a few of these up. This is Meet with Approval. I'll find that when you have a meeting, sometimes it's very hard to get everyone together, especially if you're trying to organize that meeting with online tools. So if you take the idea of an invitation to some sort of celebration like Evite that's on Yahoo, that works great if the date's set and some of the people can attend and some cannot attend and so forth. It's a good application, but it's limited in that if you have a business meeting where you have to have everyone attend, they can go to Meet with Approval. It's much easier to collaborate, and you're going to be able to do it in a much simpler manner than you would if it was just exchanging emails and trying to make it work in that respect. Many of us has used GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting works quite well. TalkBox has a few more features. It's very compelling. I think you can actually connect over 200 people, and so it's got chat capabilities, video capabilities, screen capture. Check it out. It's a tool that's worth looking at. Some of these applications are cloud-based, and they're free. Google Docs, of course, comes along where it's alongside Google Gmail or Google Apps, and Google Docs does a very good job for people who, for the most part, everything that most of us do with, say, an equivalent of a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet and so forth can be done on Google Docs. It can be shared with a variety of people on the internet, on the cloud. And but there are perhaps some limitations with Google Docs. Zoho, on the other hand, over here, is much more robust. There are many, many suites offered with Zoho. Um, Check it out. They have an equivalent to GoToMeeting. They have customer relationship management systems. They've got a variety of different suites that are extremely robust. Microsoft Office, if you just can't get away from Microsoft, Microsoft Office Live is beta. It's online. It's on the cloud. It's free. LibreOffice is it's an incredibly robust system as well. It is. I don't believe it's a cloud-based system. It's present on my desktop. I like it very much. It's a presentational module, which would be the equivalent of PowerPoint. Does an enormous amount of presentational capability. Has an enormous amount of presentational capability. Excuse me. And the last one would be OpenOffice.org, which many of us are familiar with, I think, as an alternative to Microsoft Office. However, I believe that's Adobe, and I think that they're phasing some of that out, or they're not spending quite as much time with it. So of these, I would probably look at the other solutions. Most certainly take a look at Zoho if you feel that you're going to be online a lot. Most of these are free of charge. In fact, they all are, so nothing wrong with that. Okay, how do we do business online, and both in terms of marketing and business development? This is the primary aspect of internet business development and marketing. It starts with your website and your blog, as you can see in the middle, and I like to call that the hub of everything that you do. So surrounding that, we have what's called acquisition systems, and that's simply acquiring new business and the tools to do that. Retention systems, which is retaining the business that you have, the clients, the customers that you've already got in your database. Converting business, and converting business can be something that is not necessarily defined as a new client or a new customer. A conversion could be somebody that has come to your website on several occasions, is spending time there, but yet has not yet made a purchase or become a client. You define what a conversion is, and I think that strategy should be incorporated into your online business strategy. Then, of course, analytics systems such as Google Analytics. You most definitely want to have that as a part of everything you do, because it makes everything measurable. You'll be very surprised, if you're not familiar with Google Analytics or any of the other analytics systems, how much information you can gain from what's going on with all of the tools that you use on your within your internet business strategy. Now, this perhaps will give you a better picture of how some of the tools work, with the website and the blog being the hub of everything that you, at the center of the hub of everything that you do. You can incorporate social media marketing. We also like to call that social networking marketing, because they are different. Mobile marketing, which is becoming very robust. Mobile marketing is perhaps the most popular type of new marketing systems out there. But there's a specific place for these type of marketing tools. Mobile marketing would include certainly a mobile website, maybe an application that would go on a smartphone, and there's a variety of other supporting what we call social media outlets that would support mobile. Yelp would be a good, Foursquare would also be a good example. Then we have email marketing, and of course many of us do that. That's kind of the first place many of us go. It's very, very effective if done properly. If it's overused or not used correctly, it can be problematic. And then, of course, landing pages, which I'll describe in more detail. Landing pages can be used for a variety of things. Primarily, they can be used to promote a specific product, and it can be used landing pages can be used to link back to your website to help optimize your site to get it to the top rankings of Google and other search engines. Now, how do these online tools work? You're going to hear me talk about content throughout this talk. Content is the most important aspect of anything that you can do. Good, solid content that is interesting and that is usable content for your clients, for somebody who might become a client or a customer. What they're looking for is something that's going to answer their questions, stimulate thought. It's got to be powerful, it's got to be compelling, and you're capable of doing that because you're an expert at what you do. You have the tools here to be able to do that, and so once that content has been established, then it can be sent via links to a variety of different places where people can read it. Perhaps once they read it, if they like it, they will send it out to other people, and you can see how that could rapidly grow. Now, for example, YouTube had last year, in 2010, more eyeballs than NBC. Well, people didn't go to YouTube specifically every time just to witness a video. What happened was people had either posted those videos or, in some respects, just found those videos, and then they sent them out to other people via email, social sites, and so forth. So good content gets spread very quickly. The other thing is the generations to come don't necessarily watch television anymore. They like to create their own TV, and I think that perhaps this is a good example. There's some very creative production that went into that video. I have to give these people credit. This is going to be the conclusion of number 2 in this series. Thanks very much. Have patience. We'll get them all on, and we'll have number 3 coming up right away. Thank you very much.